What's good, everybody, and welcome to Unlatched. I am your host, DeAndra Cargill. Let's get started. So, today on the show, I have some special guests. I have Poppy Mantega, and I also have Mr. Big Exclusive.
Good evening.
Hey, welcome to Unlatched.
Oh shit! I
Can you
ain't even
tell
know
the
I was on
listeners?
screen. That was startling. Hi, DeAndra, Poppy, what's up?
What's up, good brother? How y'all doing?
Pretty
Doing
good
great.
tonight,
How are
bro.
you
How you
doing?
doing?
Oh, I'm a little nervous, man. We talking about baby dad culture. I don't know what I walked into.
Bro, I'm just as lost as you is, bro. I'm excited though. I'm ready, goddamn it.
But yeah, for sure, for sure.
Absolutely. Can you tell the listeners that
But I
don't
don't
know a little bit about yourself? Hey, Mina.
say that again. I'm sorry.
For the listeners that don't know, can you tell them a little bit about yourself?
You want me to go
You want to
first?
start off?
Yeah, I'm big exclusive self-proclaimed deadbeat dad, represent for all the deadbeat dads around the world. West Side. I'm joking. I'm joking. Big exclusive from the Big Exclusive podcast on the Big Exclusive Network. Good evening, everybody.
Poppy.
Happy Montega, a member of the Big Exclusive Network. Been on a little sabbatical, trying to get my life in order, but I'm still here, still holding it down. I make music. I'm a young black entrepreneur. I'm I'm a self-proclaimed professor. I love to do research and come back with the facts. So let's not debate unless we have some solutions.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry.
That's what
That's
we're
too
here
My
for,
hyped.
nigga.
right?
My nigga.
All right. So last week I did a show on baby mama culture, and it wouldn't be right if I didn't do episode on baby daddy
Power
culture.
off.
So I'm gonna start off with the clip.
Knox Gear 39G activated. Connected.
Well, I don't see no clip.
Like I remember the song Baby Daddy. Like, that's just my baby daddy, boy. Who that is? That just we let black men, we let that crap. We the leaders, we let that bull crap become prevalent. Baby mama to become a slang term. We should have found them guys and I don't want to say what we should have done, but we should say, look, no one stood up. No black man, or I don't care who it is. I don't care what black leader you talk about. None of them stood up and told these guys, hey, this is wrong. We're not going to promote this. Now, y'all could make music and whatnot, but we're not going to promote this. Yeah. So we created, at least we permitted a quote unquote baby mama culture to take formation. We got to own that. I'm not even saying we intended to or whatever, but let's at least own we allowed it.
So my question to you guys is, do you think
It
this
was
baby
choppy for
daddy
me. I didn't hear
culture
nothing.
is you didn't hear? Okay.
It was choppy
So I'm
the
gonna
whole
ask you some
thing.
questions.
Okay.
Is this baby daddy culture destructive to the black community?
What exactly is baby daddy culture?
You got to define baby daddy culture.
A man that has multiple kids from multiple women, has them all spread out in different places, and not able to properly father these children in a way that would promote these children in a good way, to bring them up, to raise them.
I go ahead. I'm sorry.
I see that by definition, yeah, it's detrimental and it's destructive to the community. A lot of times, and I'm gonna say this right now. A lot of what I'm gonna say tonight, specifically towards this topic, is stuff that I personally experienced that I'm able to witness up close and personal. Right? I'm not here to speak for all black men, and I'll adjust my rhetoric as necessary. But inherently, when I say something, I'm talking about from my personal experiences and what I get to witness from the people that I'm around. I don't experience a lot of that behavior, and I don't know a lot of guys who run around and just create kids and leave kids unfathered. I don't even I can't even develop a relationship with them kind of people. No matter even if we grew up together in the same neighborhood or neighbors, and we had a history. The minute I find out that you're a deadbeat, which again I don't know many deadbeat fathers personally. I see stuff, I hear stories, but I don't personally see a lot of that in my direct circle. The brothers that I know, the brothers that I associate with, they're present for their father. But to the men who are living that way and foster that type of lifestyle, where they're going around creating babies and kids with multiple women, and then walking away and not taking care of them, that is a very destructive behavior. That is detrimental to our community. And really, we have to take a look at why that's allowed to happen. Now, men lie, women lie, and we all understand that. Here's the thing we need to understand. A lot of the onus, take it for what it's worth, see it how you see it. We can argue in the comments. A lot of that shit is on the women, and I stand on that.
Happy?
I personally feel like as a whole, yes, it is detrimental to the culture. I won't go as far as fully agreeing with my brother with saying is, well, he said a lot of it, he didn't say all of it, so I can't agree. But at the same time, I feel like it's still based on particular circumstances, because depending on who you hear it from, anybody could be a deadbeat. You know what I'm saying? Depending on what mood the person in that's talking about said person at the time, anybody could be a deadbeat. He could have just cut a check yesterday towards tuition and clothes and all types of stuff, but he didn't give her what she wanted today, and now he's a deadbeat. So I don't really subscribe to it, but just the whole the terminology of it, the fact that it exists, yes, I feel like it's bad for the culture. And the main reason why I feel like it's bad for the culture is I like to dive into statistics and stuff like that, right? And I'm speaking from our culture right now, even though you don't have to be black to be a deadbeat. But
Correct.
the most successful culture in our country are Indians, not Native American Indians, Indians from India. Okay. And they say that the reason that their culture is so successful is because they held on to the old traditions with the man leading the family, the man leading the household. You dig what I'm saying? They tell their kids what they're going to go to school for. You know what I mean? And in a sense, who knows the child better than the parent? The child don't even know themselves at in school age. You know what I mean? And when we talk like this in what they call Western culture, a lot of people will say, "Oh, that sounds like slavery. That sounds like slavery." But I told you I'd go into the statistics. These Indians make up roughly 4% of our population. Okay. But they hold 8% of CEO and founder jobs. This starts from the family. How are they 4% of our culture, but hold 8% of those top positions? Give you one even better. They have 1% of their culture in jobs that have to do with service. Okay. When you talk to these Indian families, a lot of their things that they hold true, we have lost. It used to be in our families, but it's not any longer. So yes, the baby daddy culture is very, very detrimental to any said culture, especially ours.
Right. Absolutely. So if a man is providing financially for his children, but he's not there physically with his children, is he a deadbeat father? Like, if he's
Yes.
not spending time with his kids, he's not getting to know his kids, just saying he's just paying child support. Is he a good
If
father?
he has the opportunity to do said things and chooses not to, then yes.
Okay. That's all I
Um,
know.
I don't know if he's providing financially, right? I don't think you can consider him a deadbeat. Like, to me, when I think the term deadbeat, based off the description you just gave moments ago, that person isn't doing anything with or for the child. The circumstances in which he's not able to do more, I would question, but I couldn't call him a complete deadbeat if he's actually providing financially. Now, if you ask a different question, meaning what do I feel like is more important for the child, I'm going to always lean towards spending time with that child, because growing up, the things I most remember about my stepdad, and when I was growing up, was him coming to the games and coming to the trophy ceremonies and coming to the graduations and that sort of thing. I don't remember the $5 he would give me to go on a class trip, none of that stuff. I remember like his presence was more important, because it was a sense of pride that I had that support system there to represent for and with me. So at the end of the day, in my opinion, being present is more important than the financial component. But to me, that would be a 70-30 thing or a 60-40 thing, because you need to be able to, or you should carry the load of that financial, or share the load of that financial responsibility for said child. I think one goes with the other. They go hand in hand. And I think they're almost as equally as important, but I just lean towards spending time, getting to know your child as the bigger priority, because when you know your child, there's nothing anybody can tell you about your kid. You know your kid. If you're present and you're around your kids enough, you know your kids inside out. I personally know my kids' doctors. I know their teachers. I'm on class trips. I'm actually active in providing an alternative education with my kids outside of the school system. So the important thing to me is being present. That's the most important thing, but that's closely followed by providing financial support for that child, because the one thing that I'm super on as a dad is whatever my daughters dream of, whatever they say they want to do, I'm going to need money to try and make it happen. I didn't bought drum sets and musical instruments. I didn't got LLCs for my daughters, because that's what they said they wanted to do. You foster those dreams and you do what you can to try to kind of keep them ahead of the curve when it comes to the outcome of their whole life, their life as a whole. So yeah, being present is more important than the money, but the money absolutely is necessary.
Quick question. You
Yes,
said
sir.
via child support though, right? Because I want to make sure I heard the question right. Because I was going off of her saying that they're providing via child support.
No, I don't think
I
she
was
said
But they're
child
not
support.
child support.
Huh?
Huh?
I was saying, for instance, child support, basically.
Oh, okay. But
I was saying
just in general
providing for the
though.
child. Right.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So
Well,
you guys don't think that fatherless homes is the problem in our community? So I'm gonna hit you with some stats. So fatherless
I do
homes, the
think
children are
so.
5
who
times
said
more
that?
likely to commit
Yeah,
suicide.
nobody said that.
Um, and they're 20 times more likely to have behavior disorders. Is that not
Mm-hmm.
a problem in our community?
Yes, I agree.
Absolutely, it's a problem in our community. I don't think either one of us said that it isn't a problem. Ultimately, if I had the option to raise my daughter in 2-parent household, I would opt for that. I think everybody should opt for that based on said statistics. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying be in an abusive relationship. I'm not saying stay in a relationship for the sake of the kids. But what I am saying is, if we start out with better intentions and be more deliberate when we dating and not just have babies by any fucking body, you stand a better chance of being able to foster, maintain, and be successful in a 2-parent household than you would be otherwise. I absolutely do not think that fathers should be out the household unless it's detrimental to him, her, or the kids. You can work shit out. You can be adult about stuff. You can have conversations. You can work through issues. But if it's mentally, emotionally, and physically abusive to any party involved, leave.
Absolutely.
But
I definitely agree.
make better decisions, ask better questions when it comes to dating him or her. And you stand a better chance of staying together, even if y'all divorce when the kids turn 18 and y'all want to live separate lives because y'all empty nesters. That's fine. But give the kids the best opportunity possible. And that starts with men and women making better decisions when it comes to dating the opposite, men and women. Like, stop making these decisions based off of material things. Stop making these decisions based on how fine the motherfucker is, or how fat her ass is, or how big her titties is. Like, we have to, similar to what Poppy said. You know what happens in most Indian culture? Your wife and your husband kind of chose for you.
And how about this? They had the lowest level of divorce. They had the lowest number in divorce.
I'm just saying. I'm not trying to adopt that practice. I'm just saying, any successful person on the planet, right? There's no new fucking ideas out there. Let's be honest. Every successful person on the planet will tell you, find somebody or something that's successful, and what do? You copy what they do. That's all I'm
saying. Can I add something to that?
Yes, sir.
Can I add something to that too? I strongly agree. Well, one thing I do want to add to that is, like, for one, we know we meet their representative initially. You know what I mean? As far as, deciding on the right person. But the one thing I noticed that our culture do a lot of is we give up too fast. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times the situations don't even be that deep. It just be an immature thing between one or two of y'all, or even both of you. You dig what I'm saying? If you look back on our grandparents and stuff like that, some of the stories that you heard when you got older, they went through far worse than what we're going through now. And they wrote it out. And the whole family didn't know about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like we gotta stop giving up on each other and stop running our mouths and work through the shit.
Where's the clap button at for that, bro? Where's the clap?
I agree. I definitely agree with that.
I agree.
I definitely, especially when it comes down to us trying to build a family. Things are gonna get tough. But it's like, are we gonna walk out on our kids? Are we gonna work this thing out to build our family, or are we, just gonna walk away? And more than likely, the man walks away before the woman does. So it becomes a fatherless household.
Physically.
Okay, let me ask you guys: did you grow up with your fathers?
I did.
I didn't.
I didn't.
No.
I didn't.
I do want to address what you just said, though. Physically, but the woman walks out far before the man does physically. So, I mean, we could go back and forth on that. At the end of the day, it's on all of us. It's on all of us. You know what I'm saying? The language that we use, we need to talk to each other better. You know what I'm saying? We need to look out for each other better. And we need to protect each other, both sides. You know what I'm saying? That the first thing we got to do is stop pointing fingers and just take responsibility as a people.
Stop being allergic to accountability. The ultimate thing I think we need to understand as a culture is that it's okay to fucking take accountability. It's not the end of the world. A lot of times we arguing who's right and who's wrong. No, did you get the message? Are you understanding what I'm trying to say to you? People listen with a different set of ears depending on the tone and the topic of the conversation, right? A lot of times when you lead with a certain tone in your voice and you've been with somebody long enough, they automatically shut down. They'll say shit like, you got it, you right, or are, or I guess, all dismissive terms, right? That men and women, I'm not talking just women, or I'm saying men and women use these terms, right? And at that point, when you hear that term, you automatically think this person checked out mentally, right? And with to Poppy credit, he is right. Women check out, maybe not physically out the door, but mentally and emotionally, they check out way before a man actually leaves physically. And that's a problem, right?
But why
Because
though?
you saying, but why? Why? In my honest opinion, why do I feel like women check out mentally
Mm-hmm.
and emotionally first?
Mm-hmm.
Is because women have been told this lie for the longest time that happy wife, happy life. And when women don't get their way, they go through this princess syndrome or this queen syndrome. When you not giving me what
Absolutely,
I
Tiff.
need,
I
when you
check out mentally when I feel disrespected. I feel like a lot of men don't take accountability on the way that they treat people, on the way that
you
they
ask
talk
me
to
a
people.
question and then you immediately your response is about respect, and then you dismiss me, disrespect what I'm
Because
saying, and
either
not
way it go, y'all gonna put it on the women.
No,
But
see,
continue, please.
I'm mentally
see.
about to check out.
Continue, please.
I lost my train of thought, man.
So I'm gonna
Can
ask
I ask
another
you?
question.
Can I ask you a
Yes,
question, Miss
please.
Cargill? Um, have you ever gone through something with a friend? I'm talking about a female friend of yours.
Mhm.
And when y'all worked it out, was your relationship better or worse than what it was before y'all went through said situation?
I would say that I mean it depends on how close of a friend we were. We are.
Really?
Mhm.
So
Absolutely.
when y'all work out problems, that don't make y'all relationship stronger?
It depends on what the problem is. In relationships,
Okay.
you have different problems from
No,
friendships.
I
You
just
get what
asked
I'm
about
saying?
friendship. I just asked about friendship. Period. But relationship, friendship is a relationship. So depending on,
Right.
what
But
you mean, but I'm just saying that that's the theory. With like, and guys do it too. That's what I'm saying. It's nobody pointing the finger. A guy will work it out with his homie and build that camaraderie. A female will work it out with her girlfriend and build that camaraderie, but they don't give their partner that same respect. And to be honest with you, the partner is probably have your best interest more at heart than your friend did.
you think so?
The majority of
In
the
some
time,
situations, yes, yes.
I would
Maybe
say the
maybe
majority.
so, but the thing about it is your friend can't disrespect you in ways that your partner can. Your
I
friend
did,
can't go out
I
and
did,
cheat on you. Your friend can't go out and disrespect you in ways that you're behind your back that you wouldn't expect somebody would that you're laying down with. So it's different. Like you can't compare a friendship and a relationship. Like
I didn't. I
I
just
just
asked
don't
the
see it.
question. I just asked the
No,
question.
I
I
know,
didn't
but I
compare.
just don't see. I don't see it.
I see
I
why we
don't
were
see it.
brought on here. I get it. I'll play the role. Got
No,
you.
I feel like y'all jumping me, Tiff. But anyways, I
You
have
you
another
you
question.
automatically
How,
assume that
how,
we are
how,
going to blame it on the women. You can't have an honest conversation if you coming in this conversation with a preconceived notion that we taking and putting blame on one another. When I've across the board on every question that I addressed said emphatically men and women. Did I not? But my last
Right,
point I was
totally
trying
two
to
different
make, you
things,
were
Nina.
so compelled to be dismissive about what I was saying, you jumped in and wouldn't even let me finish the thought. That's wild to me. And it was
Okay.
about respect.
Okay, so I just got tagged in. High five. What's up, DeAndra? What you need me for?
So no, it's just two men and one woman. So I would like your assistance. I would like you here
With
for your
Okay.
what?
opinion
What do you
on certain
feel like
things.
you've
So
been?
I do want to ask you guys another question though. Moving on.
Yes.
How has the term baby daddy affected the way society views black fathers?
It doesn't. That's a term that's coined inside the culture, that's weaponized outside the culture. It doesn't bother us. They see us, those people outside the culture already see us one way, and it does not affect good or negatively how they view us anyway.
And I
This brings
agree
me to my
only because the reason why I agree is because very recently I've been seeing white boys being proud to be baby daddies. Like, I'm a baby dad. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's all over the internet.
Yo,
So,
it's
I
definitely
mean,
the victim mentality for me, bro. That's
no,
so
it's not a
huh?
victim mentality, and I'm not trying to
It
say
is.
that
It
women
is.
don't play their parts in this
It
this as well, because they do. But what I'm trying to say is, because I spoke with the ladies, we had
Hey,
a
Lily.
a good discussion. Okay, so when
Yeah.
it comes down to the men, and when I'm talking about this baby
Can
daddy
you
culture,
repeat
who
that
is
for a
better
second?
fool?
Can you repeat
Who
what you
who
just
is?
started with?
I
Can
said
you
that
repeat
we
what
had
you
a
just said?
discussion.
With who?
We had a discussion.
With who?
I had with women, with Tiffany and Dominique. We had a good discussion. Okay.
You
We
know
didn't see
why?
eye to eye on everything. And it's okay because we don't have to. But I'm coming to you guys as men because there is a problem with fatherless homes. There is a problem with this baby daddy culture. And although you guys can't see it because you might not hang around people that are not there for their
Didn't
children,
we disagree to
or
that,
you
Lucky?
guys may have great, maybe great fathers, which you are, it's still a
But
problem that's in the community. So I'm speaking
we
about this and I'm
just
discussing
agreed
this.
that it was a problem
Right. So I'm
across the
talking
board.
about this because how can men like you educate men that are not good fathers to do better?
Hey, Rosie.
Listen, we can give you all the advice in the world. I'm gonna use a basketball analogy. You know what makes a great defender in basketball? You have to want to defend. You know what makes a great father? You have to want to be a father.
I agree.
I didn't grow up with a dad. My motivation behind how I am with my daughters, as hard as I am on myself, is the fact that I never want them to feel the feelings and emotions I experience by not having a full-time dad in the house. At the end of the day, that was my motivation to try to be the best father I can be because I didn't have one. There was no advice given to me. You know what I did? I looked at great fathers that I saw in and around my circle, which was there. Tiffany Ann's ex-husband being one of them.
Facts.
Mike was a great
Facts.
example of what a father looks like and what a father should be. And I patterned my behavior after what I saw him do with his kids and the fact that I had access to him to have those conversations about being the dad.
Facts.
There is no advice, nobody on TV, no athlete that could have told me what a good father was. I needed to see that. I needed to have access to that so that I can then, like I said earlier, successful people pattern themselves after other successful people. I took and saw what he was doing, and I looked at his blueprint, and I did my best to follow what he was doing. And where I lacked that, I picked up the phone and I called him. I picked up the phone and I see Poppy. I see Angry OG. Despite the personalities you see on the network, when it comes to being fathers, all the dudes that I mess with on the networks are great fucking fathers.
All the dads, hands
And
down,
I
across the
see it
board.
up close and personal. So I don't have friends that are fucking deadbeats. I just don't. I just don't. So that's not my experience. Do I see it? Yes. I don't associate with them people. You know why? Because that's not the success I'm looking for. So if you're looking for advice as a father, look at the people around you. And if you don't have anybody around you, listen, hit me up, inbox me. I would mentor you. I don't mind doing that because being a father didn't come with no manual. Every 95% of the compliments that I get as a man have shit to do with my looks, my money, the car I drive, the house I live in, the shit that I say on the podcast. 95% of the compliments that I get is the type of father that I am. It wasn't no book. It wasn't no advice from nobody. It was me looking around in my circle, in my immediate vicinity, in my village, and seeing like, yo, that's the kind of dad I want to be, and having access to him. So if you have access to the type of father that you want to be, hit them up, ask the advice, see what they're doing. pattern your style after those people. There's no celebrity, there's no athlete, there's no TV show, there's nobody who could tell you how to be a good father, because kids, every single one of them, are completely different. The way our dads parented in 78 ain't the same way you can parent in 2023. The landscape has changed. You cannot have these antiquated ideas about what a father is and then try to be that way. You have to be able to shift and evolve and be fluid. My daughters need something different every fucking day. I can't parent the same way when they was 6 and 4. Now that they're 11 and 9, they're not even the same people.
Literally.
The bottom line is you have to want to be a father.
Can I go a little smoke and mirrors on my response?
Please, sir. We missed smoke and mirrors. We about to do 4 episodes.
It go a little deeper into what you were saying. So
matter of fact, give him the screen. Give him the screen. Give him the screen.
Being a father. Yeah, I'll wait for the screen.
Please, because I'm gonna cut this later. It's going up.
Hold up.
There you go. There you go.
Hold up.
What is you doing?
It's not coming up.
Stop touching stuff. I got it.
You got it. There you go.
Come on, Pop.
So, being a father, being a mother is an instinct. As Big Exclusive just said, each child is different, so it's going to require a different upbringing. If we followed what they told us the standard of being a parent was, in our culture, the kid would run the household. When we relate to, I'll put it to you like this. It's something that you pick up instinctively, just like learning how to walk. No one taught you how to walk unless some reason, somehow you lost the ability to walk later in life. You dig what I'm saying? It's something that you desire to do. Some people do the thing, but they haven't developed the instinct. But that's not something that is taught. You dig what I'm saying? A lot of women don't admit to it as much as men do, and that's not a shot. This is the point that I'm getting to as far as having a child changing them. You dig what I'm saying? Men say a far lot more when she had such and such, I started looking at life differently. I started being like this. I started being like that. That right there instinctively is apparent. If a man can't relate in that sense, it doesn't mean that he's not capable of being a father. It's just that's not where he is mentally, and that's his bad. When he decides that that's what he wants to do, he'll seek. Similar to what I say on Smoke and Mirrors, I teach who seek. When people seek the information, that's when they're more open to the information. If you go off trying to teach it, and that's not what they're seeking, it's going to go in one ear and out the other. So, no, we can't teach them to be fathers. You can't teach a mom to be a mom. That's an instinct.
Right. And I wasn't meaning teach them, to encourage them, because it is a problem. It's okay to encourage. You have a lot of men out there that did not grow up with fathers, that don't think that they're good enough to be fathers.
We encourage by example.
Know how to be fathers. And sometimes they do need a brother to pick them up and say, it's okay, you're good enough, you can handle this. Like, we have to work together. You have to have some type of brotherhood to work together. We have to be together. We have to start it together. We have to be a community. We have to build each other up. And it's not just us turning the eye because this person is not doing their job, and you're not looking at it in a deeper way of saying, okay, something is going on with him. Something is wrong with him. It's something that he's lacking. It's either he didn't have a father. He doesn't feel like he's good enough. It's something that's there. And maybe sometimes words of encouragement would build this brother up. And it's okay to build
Miss
other people
Cargill.
up and to help other people. I know it's not your issue. I know it's not your problem,
No,
but it's
wasn't gonna
okay
say
to
that.
help
Wasn't
your
gonna say that.
brother.
Wasn't gonna say that. What I was gonna say is what you're saying isn't something that's not being done, especially by the two guys that you have on the screen. But the mentality that a lot of people that are associated with me have is we can't save everybody. You dig what I'm saying? That's where I get the
Absolutely.
teach who
I
seek.
understand.
You know what I'm saying? If somebody don't want to be or do something, you beating a dead horse. Now, if somebody's seeking that information, they're going to be open to that information. Fine example: the first time a guy gets put on child support, you think he don't go seeking information from other men that he know was on child support? That's what he's seeking for. Before he ever encountered that, imagine how many men tried to tell him about their experience on child support. What you think he did at that point in his life when he didn't have to worry about child support? It's the same thing. It's just information. They have to seek this information, and we're open to giving it. But at the same time, when we're trying to fix the culture as a whole, we have to deal with the people who want to fix the culture as a whole. You know what I mean?
Right.
When we're trying to fix parenting, we have to deal with people who want to be better parents. You know what I mean? I'll make another sports analogy. You can't put a kid who wants to be a basketball player in football camp. He's going to suck. He could be a top
And he's
tier
not gonna
athlete.
care. And he's not gonna care.
He could be a top tier athlete, but he's going to suck because that's not what he wants to do. You dig what I'm saying? You encourage them in the direction that they want to live or want to be, and then they become the best version of that. You get what I'm saying? So I wasn't saying, oh well, fuck them niggas, like they don't want to. No, it's not that. But
I'm
at the
saying
same
fuck them
time,
niggas. I'm
no,
saying
what I'm saying is if somebody is considered a deadbeat, but that's not what they want to be, and they're seeking how to not be perceived that way, it's gonna be like, come on, bro. Well, this is what I do with my kids, or my man do this. You know what I'm saying? I seen him on Instagram the other day. He took his son here or took his daughter. They seeking that information. Somebody that's not seeking that information gonna say, fuck them kids.
yeah, I'm not Poppy, you right, and I agree 1000%. For the men, young, middle age, or old, who want the knowledge, who want to be a better father, or who even wants to begin to be a father to their children, I will say this to them folks. I'm here if you need me. The greatest job I ever had in my life is being a father to Kayla and Cameron. I don't give a fuck the amount of money I've ever made in one lick. I don't give a damn about any accolades that come from me doing any sports or any of that stuff. The greatest thing I've ever done was be a father to them girls. It comes with all the accolades you could ever ask for in a lifetime. Every time they make you a card or draw you something in school, I don't give a fuck how rudimentary, how elementary, how fucked up it may look, you're going to be the proudest father on the planet every time. Every time you see your child grow and mature and accomplish something new, you're going to be the proudest person on the planet. Every time they learn something new, it's going to be every time, every milestone is going to be a reward for you and you being present. All of that shit is the gift that keeps on giving as a father. When I teach my girls something and I hear them later on maybe saying it to their fucking friends, to their teachers, or even regurgitating it back to me, that is a gift. I just want another Oscar. If you want the gift that keeps on giving, if you want something to be proud of, if you want something to be a legacy, your kids are going to be your legacy. Don't have your kids find you and have animosity towards you because you wasn't there. The most hurtful thing I've ever experienced in my life, and I'm not talking about loss. I just recently lost my mom. But the most hurtful thing that I've experienced in my life is knowing and finding out who the fuck my father was, and that son of a bitch walking past me every day, not even acknowledging me. My daughters will never know that pain. They will never know that hurt. You wouldn't want your kids to know that hurt. You wouldn't want that knock on the door in 30 fucking years and somebody then found you because of DNA, or one of your kids then found you through some ancestry or through family records, or however they find you. You don't want to have that conversation on why you didn't want me.
Right.
Nigga, you laid down.
Can,
You
can I
planted
give a
that.
quick story to piggyback off of something Big Exclusive said?
Absolutely.
Just had a situation with my daughter, right? My daughter, Camille. Shout out to Camille. I know she's not seeing this, but shout out to Camille.
Shout out to
She's
Camille.
she's 8 years old, right?
Hell of a
And
gymnast.
she does
I'm sorry, Pa. I'm sorry.
she does gymnastics, and she's pretty good at it.
Hell of a
So I
gymnast.
went to watch her practice one day, and I was seeing her do some things. And on the ride home, I asked her about her backflips. I said, "So how come you don't do 4 backflips in a row?" Because I noticed that she does a round off and then maybe 2. And she said, "Well, that's for level 7. I'm level 3." And I'm like, "Well, I'm looking at you and you don't seem tired after the 2. I think you can do 4." Her eyes lit up and she looked at me and said, "Do you really?" And I said, "Yeah, I think you can do 4." The next weekend, her mom took her to the trampoline park, and I got sent a video of her doing the 4 backflips in a row. And it made me feel ultimate. Like, it made me feel like my words made that difference. Me showing her that I believed that she could do something that she didn't even believe that she could do, but she wanted to do. And she went out and accomplished it. You dig what I'm saying? As a dad,
Beautiful.
to you out there that's watching, it is an awesome feeling, bro. It is an awesome feeling. So yeah, that's
And
to
I
solidify what you just was saying, bro.
Listen,
and also I would like to add the fact that you guys don't know how important that is to have to a child. You
Oh, we
don't know
know.
how
That's why we're
important that
doing
is. That is
it.
very important. Very
Yes.
important. Like,
you
I grew up
know,
without my father. I
you
knew
know
who he was. My mom and my dad got a divorce when I was like 5 years old. And you don't know how much that could have helped me in certain areas in my life by having that encouragement, by having my father giving me that confidence. Like, it's very important to have your father, like, your mother and your father. It's supposed to equal out. But I do have a question. Um,
Yes.
what would you say to fathers that don't have a great relationship with their child's mother? Like, how should they overcome that?
let me say this first. When I tell you that the men in my circle are great fathers. You know how I knew his daughter was a gymnast before he ever said it? It's because I care about him and his kid. Okay.
Right.
Now, at the end of the day, I keep my circle like that because I constantly, as a father, want to learn because my friends have kids that age ranges are different. So I'm gonna need help in trying to understand my daughter when she becomes a teenager, right? I'm gonna need help. So I keep people around me so that I can keep up on the great habits of a father and go to them for advice when I need it as a father. As far as the advice I would give men who have tumultuous relationships with the women, 9 times out of 10, it's a recent breakup. Shit just as bad when it's a breakup and y'all have kids. Now, if it's something that's prolonged, you're dealing with a certain level of immaturity, and patience is going to always be key. You have to wait it out. But as a man, don't give me that shit that this woman is keeping you away from your kids. You fight for your kids. You fight for the right to be present in their lives. Okay?
Absolutely.
We know what the system is towards men, especially in our culture, when it comes to being fathers. They don't want us there. because they have more control. It's another conversation, another podcast, another show.
Right.
The point I'm trying to make is, if you ever in your life give me the reason she won't let me see my kid or she keeping them from me, you a deadbeat in my opinion. I'm fighting for mines. I don't give a fuck how much money I have to spend, how hard I have to fight, even if I'm going to jail. Fight for the right to be present in your kid's life. Do not just accept anything. That woman is not judge, jury, and executioner. She don't have the right to tell you you can't see yours. Okay? Fight for your kids. Now, some other advice. Be mature. Let that woman go. A lot of you niggas is out here on some super possessive shit just because they don't want to be with you anymore. They can't be with nobody. And I don't want nobody around my kids. Grow the fuck up. Okay? They have to move on as human beings and adults. And nine times out of 10, you niggas done already moved on with another bitch anyway. So cut the shit. Grow up and mature. It's going to be somebody around your kids. Be man enough to have a conversation to make sure that shit is in line with your morals and your principles. And if it's not, then you adjust. You let this man know, this is what I'm teaching my kids. This is what I want them to be. This is where we are on our journey. Grow up. Let these grown-ass men and women go live their lives. You should have been trying, men and women, you should have been trying to make the shit work if you gave a shit that much about who your kids end up with and who in their lives. Make it work. Like Poppy said, stop giving up so goddamn easy. But don't hinder nobody else from finding their person. And when they do, be mature enough, be adult enough to have communication. Because the foundation for every relationship, be it business or personal, is communication.
Absolutely.
Use your fucking words. Grow up and use your words. You cannot hold that woman hostage from giving her pussy away or being in another relationship with somebody who she feels like or he feels like is a better situation for them going forward. You as a father still have to be a father. You say what you're willing to accept. You let this man know what's going on with your kids, where they are, and what you're trying to accomplish with them. Or else that nigga gonna come in and do whatever he want. No, establish a relationship with that man. Communicate. Don't go in on no tough guy shit. That's not good for nobody. It's just not. Be adults about
Definitely
this.
goes for men and women. Right. Absolutely.
Be adults
What would
about
you
this.
say to overcome problems between
So I want to attack perspective as far as that go, and this is what because I mentor some guys that I used to coach and stuff like that. We still keep in touch. They come over, we talk even about parents. Some of them don't have kids yet. You know what I mean? And where I want to start with is the kid. Understand that it's about the kid at that point. So the relationship that the parents have affects the kid. None of us know what we're doing. You get what I'm saying? Like we're all learning this as we go, and it's just like nobody knows anybody that's died before. You know what I mean? Like literally died before. That's something that we'll find out when we get there. The way I had to fix my mind, the way I had to adjust my mindset to become a better parent and have that maturity that Big E was just talking about is I look at it like this. My children will birth children and pass down what they were taught from their parents as we did. Despite whatever religious beliefs you may have or whatever, this is the theory that works for me. When you pass and you have another experience, I believe that the parents that you would have on your next experience learned from what you left your last experience. Did that make sense to you? Do y'all get what I'm saying when I say that?
And you just fucked my brain up with that.
Okay, I'll make it a little simpler. I'll use you, big exclusive.
I got
I'll
it.
use you, big exclusive.
That shit
But I'm
just
saying
like
for everybody to really get it, big exclusive. One of your daughters, right, will birth your parent for the next experience, which is why it's important what you teach your daughters to teach to your parents for your next experience. How I came up with that theory is they say we choose our parents. How do we choose our parents if they birth us? The way you live this life determines your experience the next go round. So make sense of that, and that should make you want to be a better parent.
shit should make you want to be one of the goats of this shit. Seriously.
Right.
Seriously. And I understood it when you said it, but that shit
Mhm.
was just mind blowing. Like, well, damn. And it makes me more proud of the person I am in my daughter's eyes, because they honestly think I'm a superhero and they think I print money in the basement or some shit like that. But y'all get the point. Ultimately, when it comes to the relationship between parents, the most important thing is, please just understand, if the relationship didn't work out, it didn't work out for a reason. Grow up, be mature, focus on the kids. What's more important to you, seeing her miserable or seeing them happy? Because if the mom or whichever parent is the custodial parent, kids understand more than anything else you say to them, energy. Kids understand and feed off energy. And if you don't believe me, if you got kids and you sad and you don't want them to know, comment yup or 100 if you've been in a situation, whatever it is, but it just had you down and your kids ran down on you like, daddy or mommy, what's wrong? And you look at them like, you ain't supposed to be worried about what you like. It just shocked you because like you don't want them to know what's wrong. Kids know, they feed and they know that
Absolutely.
energy.
Bro,
So
I
I
be
get
driving
what you
with my
guys
daughter
were
sometimes,
saying.
and she stares at me like just randomly in traffic. We'll be sitting in traffic, and
Yeah,
I'll just look, and she'll just be staring at me, bro. So yeah, they
that's beautiful.
definitely pick up on everything.
Um,
Yeah.
it's a
And I
fact.
understand what you guys were saying, that you can't beat a dead horse. That's why I want to play this second clip.
I don't get jealous often. I don't. But deadbeat dads, man. Yo, yo, they be so unbothered. They don't care.
Nope.
Right?
Yo, dog.
You see them on Instagram living their best life, eating, drinking, with their friends, vacations, bitches.
This nigga said, yo, what's wrong?
Mom call, yo, come get nigga. I don't care about y'all. Get out of here. Yo, they be so unbothered. I'm just saying sometimes.
What's wrong with this?
Forget it, yo. Sometimes you get so jealous of them. Get jealous of them
I don't be
deadbeat dads.
jealous. Yo, what's wrong with
Deadbeat
you?
dads be on a yacht.
Oh, man.
And it's a joke, but they are unbothered. They don't give a fuck. They really don't. But we have great men like you guys. And I feel like, sometimes people are looking for ways. They're looking. Sometimes it could just be something that someone says and it can change their mind about certain things. And that's why I want to have this discussion. No, you cannot be the dead horse, but we do need more men like you that are men, to speak up on certain things. And I know that you do because you always talk about your daughter. At the end of every show, you acknowledge your daughters. You talk about your daughters every
Yep.
show,
Yep.
you know, and that is so important. And I just want more of it more of men like you guys to speak out and to put it out there so it can, you know, cloud out a lot of the other shit that's going on that they don't need to be listening to that's distracting them from their children. And I just think that conversations like this need to be had, and we need to address certain things and try to figure it out because I mean, although we might have 3 homes where father is active. We have like 5 or 6 homes that they're not, and this is a community that's coming together as a whole. And although, it's not your house that's lacking a father, it still leaks out in the community. Other things from other homes, if you get what I'm saying.
I'm gonna say this because I know the show is coming. Go ahead, Pop. Go ahead.
No, I just was going to say, some of it is out of our hands because women outnumber us. You get what I'm saying? So some of it is inevitable. You know what I mean? But that's not to, despite what you said, I fully agree with what you're saying. But just understand, like, it's something that it's not going to never be completely fixed.
Right.
You know what I mean? All we can keep doing is keep trying to progress and be better as a culture. And when we think of it culturally, that brings back the tribe and, the village and, your sisters and aunties and cousins and all that, like bonding back together. I feel like that's a big part of it also. You know what I mean? Like the whole family is dysfunctional. The whole family is separating themselves, and God bless the ones who are still tight knit. You know what I mean? Like I unfortunately, let me not say unfortunately. I fortunately was born into an older family, and I can't tell y'all how much I miss going to my grandmother's house on Sundays, even though brothers and sisters from other kids were there. You dig what I'm saying? My last grandparent died in 2004. You know what I mean? That's when the last of my grandparents passed away. And when that happened, Sunday dinner went. Thanksgivings weren't the same. 4th of July wasn't the same. Christmas wasn't the same, despite whatever you may celebrate. You know what I mean? All that died with my grandparents. So I feel like that too is just as much responsible, because being tight knit like that, the men and the women held each other accountable. Well, where your other kid at? Well, how come you don't bring them around?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We're not even around each other no more to hold each other accountable. It was a lot that went into that. A deadbeat now could have been a great father then, because so many people would have been on his ass. You dig what I'm saying? So that's why I always related to the culture. That's all I wanted to say.
I definitely agree.
I think you nailed it, Pop. And I wanted to say this. As a community and as a culture, I'm so tired of being on the defensive. We need to actually start getting on offense, and actually us as a culture dictate some of the narrative that's going around. And this might be a little shameless self-promotion, but platforms like the Big Exclusive Network, where you see all forms of the culture, is important to the culture. The one thing Pop said that just, kind of had me thinking, and I instantly got kind of emotional, was the fact that a lot of the offense that we can play is actually bringing back the family, bringing back the accountability that he explained that comes with being in a family. And family superseded a lot of things. Family superseded religion. Family superseded money. Family superseded most of the ills that faced our community, because we knew one safe haven, one fortune of solitude was grandma's house after church. It didn't matter if you was Muslim, Christian, Buddhist, atheist, none of that mattered. When you sat down and broke bread, that overwhelming sense of family superseded all the ills that was going on in the world and or the family. We need to start playing offense. Jessica Diaz put up a great comment. Tiff, if you could bring that back, it was a couple comments ago. And because that, to me, that was important, because 99, here we go. All a person can do is choose the co-parent of your child wisely. because it's a choice 99% of the time, and that is a choice. And here's why. And it's imperative that you choose wisely. And if you're unsure, don't choose that person. Keep it moving. Have sex. We all know how good sex feels, but be protected. Use some form of birth control. Don't be tied to somebody you wouldn't want to bring to the family dinner for the rest of your life. Okay. Um, last thing, which I feel like is super important. Please remember that no matter what, your kids are always watching. Be the change. Be the change. Be the change that you want them to see. Whatever it is that whatever generational curse you're trying to break, be that change. Don't expose your kids to anything less than the change you want to see. The future that you want, be that person. Live that lifestyle. Show them. Be the change.
Awesome.
Can I say
Do you have any
one
final
last
thoughts,
thing?
Poppy?
My final thought is this. We just talked about, bringing back the family and missing grandmom and grandpa. They were the kings and queens of our family. They were the matriarchs and patriarchs of our family. It's a saying that goes around that it's been far before I was alive. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. After they deceased, nobody seemed to want to put on the crown. You know what I mean? Everybody wanted to be the dictator, but they didn't want the responsibility that came with putting on the crown. So my final thought is, who's going to put on the crown in your family? Speaking to myself too, but are you going to be the one to put on the crown? Somebody got to do it.
Absolutely. I want to thank y'all so much for coming to the show. Did you want to show the last video, Biggie?
Yeah. I know
There's been this landmark study from the Center for Disease Control, which debunked many of the myths surrounding Black fathers. It found that the majority of Black fathers live with their children. Black fathers are more likely to help their children with their homework, prepare meals, bathe and dress their children compared to fathers of other races. So the absent or deadbeat Black father myth that many in America believe is really more like a lie. I'm excited to give you an update about our own YouTube channel. Now you can find new videos every day.
Right. Which is going to take us to another episode. So we'll save that for later. But I want to thank you guys for coming to the show. Can you tell the listeners where they can find you, the ones that don't know?
Thanks for having me. You can catch me every Tuesday night, 7 p.m. on the Big Exclusive Podcast, on the Big Exclusive Network. Make sure you subscribe to the network on the YouTube channel. DeAndra, thank you for having me. I hope to see all you guys Tuesday night, 7 p.m. If you have a show idea, hit me up, hit DeAndra up, hit Poppy up. Figure out a way to get to us, because we want to keep these type of conversations going, because it's super important to the community. And I think at the end of the day, a lot of people, all of the people on the network are the change that we want to see in our community. And I salute everybody a part of the Big Exclusive Network. I appreciate you all. I love you all. If you want to support the network, I'm not going to ask you for no money. Just tell people about it. That's all. I challenge you to tell 10 people about Unlatched and the Big Exclusive Network. That's it. DeAndra, thank you for having me. Poppy, I love you, brother.
Love you too, bro. DeAndra, I'm going to start off with thank you. I appreciated the invite. This was a great topic, great show. To everybody out there, stream me on all platforms, Poppy Montega. Outside of that, I'm easy to find. Poppy Montega. I'm very easy to contact. I'm very approachable. Just be respectful. That's pretty much it. I'm not going to go through all the different platforms. Everywhere is Poppy Montega. Whatever platform you have, that's how. I'm not on Twitter. I'm on Twitter, but I haven't tweeted since like 2015. Yeah. Instagram, Facebook, Spotify, YouTube. Yeah, Poppy Montega. DeAndra, thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming.
I'm always available.
Absolutely. Thank you. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. You can find me here 9 p.m. on the Big Exclusive Network on Unlatched. So, yeah, thanks everybody for tuning in. Until next time, I'm your host, DeAndra Cargill.